Right, this is Mecca Greg, Sam Clarkson and Sonia Rashid. This is for Unit 6 Sports Development, Task 2, Barriers to Participation. Okay, so we're going for P2, M2 and D1. Right then, Mac, give me a barrier to participation.
Fitness.
Right.
For foundation people, like people just starting, they're not, probably won't be, because they're new to sport, they're not going to be able to be that fit enough to do much activity, so they're going to get tired easy, they're going to injure themselves easier.
Just make sure you speak loud enough. Just for
easier than usual. They're just they're more likely to be harming themselves because they're not going to get the right amount of fitness needed in a certain activity.
Right. Okay, Sam, next barrier.
Cost could be another barrier because it might be expensive to start up, including the equipment and travelling to games, which cost because if you're young you won't be able to afford it, so you're relying on your parents.
Right. Sonia?
Ability could be a barrier because some people might not be as good as someone else in a certain sport, which will cause them to drop out in the sport and drop their self-confidence, and they might be finding the sport hard to do.
Right, okay. Mac, what's your next barrier then?
Resources is the next barrier. Not many people are gonna afford resources for one, so they might not be able to get the right.
What do you mean by resources?
Like equipment or places to go to have sessions and stuff, so they're gonna struggle on learning new techniques on certain sports or whatever.
Right.
And so they're gonna find it hard to progress in their sport.
Okay. Sam, next barrier?
Time is the next barrier. Time could be a barrier because, for example, a person at the performance level could still be at school or college and could not have time to go compete and train because of his school work or college work. And he might have part-time job, or he might be a carer for one of his parents.
Right, okay. Sonia?
Gender could be a barrier because girls don't have much choice as boys to get involved in a certain sport. And if the boys are playing football, the girls probably don't want to play with them, so they'll end up dropping it or something like that.
Right, okay. Right, so target groups then. So target groups, Matt. Can you think of any target groups that you try and help people to get into sport?
More elderly people, because as you get older, your bones and muscles become more fragile and easier to break. So introducing more light sport is going to help them stay active more and keep them a bit more healthy, more fit, and more strong.
Right, okay, Sam?
Disabled people will struggle to will be a barrier because they might not be as confident as fully able people, so they might think, I won't turn up to that because there's nobody else who is disabled, so you'd have to do specialist sessions where you can get a group of disabled people so nobody feels like they're underachieving or feeling pressured to be good, whereas when they're all good in their own way.
Right, okay. Sonia?
Primary school kids, ability because they obviously they won't be as good as people our age, so they'll have a choice to do a certain skill at their level and stuff like that.
Right. Can we think of how we can link this to sports development continuum? Anything else you want to say about that? About the different levels?
Yeah, the cost for people who are disabled, there might be the specialist equipment for wheelchair basketball. Someone who's at the elite stage have got sponsors, so they don't have to pay for it, whereas someone who's starting up will have to pay for the wheelchair, which will be specially made for them and their weight and all that, whereas the people who are at the elite stage will get it paid for.
Okay, good. Right, so I'll just have a quick look at this. Right, can we think of any other barriers then, Mac? Can you think of any other barriers to participation? So which one did you give me to start off with?
Fitness,
So we've had fitness and
resources.
or equipment, yeah?
Yeah.
Can you think of another one? So what else, Mac?
Time.
So time, okay.
I've
So
done time, yeah.
right, so which other ones did you do, Sam?
I've done time and cost.
Time and cost. Sonia?
Ability and gender.
Right, so up to now I've had fitness and resources or equipment, time and cost, ability and gender. Can we think of any others, Matt?
Age, maybe.
Age, good.
Religion.
Religion.
Um,
What else? Can you think of another one?
like travel or something like that.
Travel, good. So how might travel affect it?
Like it might like where they need to go might be far from where they live, so like they won't want to go there because it's too far from where they live.
Right.
Or it might like cost a lot of money to get there and stuff as well.
Okay. So hang on. Right, can we explain any more or on anything? Have you got anything else to say?
Parents would be a barrier.
Parents, right? Why?
Because they might be focused, like your parents might like rugby, but you might not like that, so you like badminton, but they'll be trying to pressure you into playing rugby to
Yeah.
be part of, to like fit in more with the family, whereas really you just want to go play badminton because you know you're better than that. So your parents might not say you either play rugby or you don't do sport, so you have to make your own way to your badminton matches, training, pay for it yourself, because your parents aren't supportive of it.
Right. Okay. Sonia, anything else?
No.
So have we finished?
So,
Yeah.
Anything else to add? Yeah. Yeah. Right. Okay.